Joining us now, Sam Carchidi from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Sam, you were the first to report the news of Chuck Fletcher's official hiring yesterday. How did the Flyers come to this decision?
Well, it took them only a week after they fired Ron Hextall. I think some people thought it would take a little longer, but I think they had him in mind actually right from the start. And, they like his record with the Minnesota Wild. They like the fact that he has experience with so many different teams. He's won a Stanley Cup championship as an assistant coach with Pittsburgh. And I think they like the fact that I know Bob Clark likes it. They have firsthand experience with him. He worked with Bob Clark in Florida. In fact, Bob Clark was the general manager with the Florida Panthers 25 years ago when he hired Chuck Fletcher. It was Fletcher's first job. And Fletcher yesterday, we did a conference call with him, and he said that he probably learned more in that 1 year under Bob Clark than he did in all his other years working for other teams. So I think they felt comfortable with him. I know Paul Holmgren did, Dave Scott did, and he made a move right away. Less than 24 hours after he was named, they hired Rick Wilson today as the defensive coach. He did that in consultation with Dave Haxtell. I thought it was very interesting that Dave Haxtell was part of the decision. And Haxtell admitted that he actually reached out to Wilson last week. Of course, this was well before the Flyers had named Chuck Fletcher the GM. So it looks like Dave Haxtell is going to be part of things here and for the foreseeable future. So interesting spin in Flyers land today.
Yeah, and Rick Wilson's been around this game for a long time and has worked with a lot of really good young defensemen. So I think that's probably a good hire in Philly. He's done that. What other adjustments, changes do you expect Fletcher to make to this team? Because he's coming in here. It's a work in progress now. The season is underway. What can he do?
Yeah, and I really like what he said yesterday. We did a conference call, and what he said was that he's inheriting a pretty good situation. And he really saluted Ron Hextall, which I thought was a real classy thing to do. Ron Hextall has left him in a pretty good spot. He has a lot of cap space. He has a very good farm system. Hextall and Chris Pryor did a great job with the draft. And he's got a good team. I mean, this team is underachieved. They've been up and down, inconsistent. The injuries to the goalies have hurt. And, of course, the injury to James Van Riemsdyk hurt. But it's not, the dire straits that, some people may lead you to believe. And they're only 5 points out of third place. They're buried in the Metro right now. They're in seventh place in the Metro and 15th in the East, but they're really not too far away. And I think this team has the ability to get hot. Coincidentally, today is the 1 year anniversary, December 4th, of when they turned things around last year. At this time last year, they were on a 10-game losing streak. And from December 4th until the end of the season, they had the fifth most points in the NHL. So, as I said, this is not a dire situation at all, but they have to get more consistency, and they have to fix the special teams. They're the key things. And of course, the goaltending situation will have to clear itself out. But Anthony Stolarz right now is playing pretty well, and it looks like Brian Elliott will be back fairly soon. So, but to answer your questions, I think he'll look to maybe get a veteran defenseman in here after he's on the job for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and possibly a third-line center. Whether he upgrades the goalie situation, a lot depends on how Anthony Stolarz plays and the health of the other two goalies.
Yeah, let me follow up on Stolarz because he did play well in that win over the Penguins the other day. Where does he stand within the organization? He's had several injuries. He's a New Jersey kid. He's a big goaltender. Are they going to give him a shot right now to run with this?
I think they will. I talked to Brian Elliott today, and he's coming along slowly. He was on the ice today, skating and taking some shots, but he's had a groin issue, and I don't think they want to rush him back. So I think he's at least a few weeks away. Michael Neuwirth is back now and healthy, but everybody knows his history. He's had all kinds of injury problems. So to me, I think they will give Stolarz a long look. They have back-to-backs coming up, so Neuwirth will probably play one of them. But Stolarz is a guy they really like. You mentioned his injuries. He had a couple of knee surgeries about a year and a half or so ago, and he's still on his way back from that this year in camp. And he was buried with the Phantoms in the AHL. He was a third-string goalie. He had made only one start with the Phantoms this year when they called him up, and now he's played well. He has 10 starts in the NHL. His goals against is .232, and his save percentage is about .923, somewhere in there. Small sample size, no question, but he's got potential. They drafted him in the second round back in 2012. And they protected him in the draft, the expansion draft for Vegas. So, they like his pedigree. If he can stay healthy, as you said, he's a big goalie, takes up a lot of space. The kid has a lot of potential.
All right, opportunity knocking right now for Anthony Stolarz. We'll see if he can answer. Sam, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it, EJ.